want to contribute to the public accounts report. The member for Balambala. Abdikadir.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to speak to this very important report. And on the onset, I want to say that I support as a member of this committee. But allow me, before I speak, Madam Speaker, to say that it's with great honor that I join you in recognizing Kulea and the team of the young girls from Samburu, Isiolo, Laikipia, Marsabit, and Kuria, among other places who have joined us here today. It's a great honor. These are girls who have inspired many other young girls to ensure that they do not fall off their education and they continue. We're very proud of you. Madam Speaker, on the onset, I want to say that this report indeed is one that has revealed serious fraud and serious inefficiencies within the government expenditure system. To say the fact, it is that the national government is usually responsible for 85% of the shared revenue. It is only 15% that goes to the counties. But time and again, we have seen in the media, we ourselves have made a lot of noise about how county governments are misusing the funds of the funds that have been devolved. But it is disheartening to see that whilst all that complaint and noise is only over 15%, or 23% at best, as it has been lately, that 85% or close to that figure is at the national level, and this report reveals serious misuse of that kind of money. Madam Speaker, I want to say that the recommendations of this report must be taken with a lot of seriousness by the appropriate authorities. We have indeed put recommendations to EACC, to the DPP in many occasions, to ensure that culpabilities which have been obviously identified are immediately dealt with. Failure to do that, Madam Speaker, unfortunately, the vice of corruption will never leave Kenya. We will always suffer with this cancer called corruption in our country. Madam Speaker, I want to take a few examples as I speak onto this report. The Ministry of Devolution, I can say, has been the ministry that is most affected with this particular issue. Madam Speaker, it is with great shame that an accounting officer who was allocated over 100 billion shillings comes and can only satisfactorily account for about 8 billion shillings. All the remaining other amounts are left unaccounted for. Madam Speaker, and some of these people are walking free out there. This is why sometimes we feel that there is no seriousness in fighting corruption in this country. Some of those people should be behind bars, Madam Speaker, the Ministry of Devolution, the accounting officers who are involved with the misappropriation of those funds, who shamelessly showed Kenyans that they bought one pen, a ball pen, one ball pen for over 8,700 shillings, Madam Speaker, and some other expenditures which are ridiculous in nature, Madam Speaker. Unfortunately, those people enjoy liberty, while some Kenyans who have been accused of stealing a mango because they were hungry and they needed something in their stomach have seen jail for several months, if not years. This is an irony of the situation of corruption in Kenya. Madam Speaker, an unapproved expenditure in nature of projects, it is becoming such a common thing to see that a project which was tendered for, say, 1 billion shilling, midway changes to 2 billion. And by the time it's ending, it ends as a 5 billion shilling project. And you look at the project and what has been done, nothing of significance has changed from the scope of work. And even where scope of work changes, Madam Speaker, there is a law that applies to say that beyond certain amount of changes of the scope of work and amounts, there must be an approval levels that is required. We have seen shamelessly accounting officers inflating projects, and it is all in this report, Madam Speaker. The unwarranted attack on the Office of the Auditor General, Madam Speaker, was another disheartening thing to see in this report. We have seen ministries publish on the national media, on all the newspapers, a cost to the taxpayer, Madam Speaker, for taking pages of the advertisements to say how they want to hit at the Auditor General for not presenting factual information. But when the same accounting officers came before the committee we indeed proved that what the Auditor General was saying was indeed right. Those accounting officers, Madam Speaker, lied to Kenyans. They were trying to conceal corruption in their ministries, Madam Speaker, and we strongly recommend that they be not only surcharged to pay back the cost of those advertisements, but indeed to make sure that they are held responsible for attempting to hide that corruption. Internal audits in the different ministries, Madam Speaker, has become almost useless, because what is happening is that corruption is happening in ministries while you are told that every ministry has a department of internal audit. What then were they doing, these internal auditors? What is their work? Some of them, we ask them, what exactly then is your work if you cannot stop this overpayment of invoices? We have seen invoices whose amounts were changed by hand, Madam Speaker. We have seen ridiculous things happening or being presented before the committee. The internal auditors have absolutely no clue, and I want to say that for prudent management of financial resources, we need a critical relook at those auditing internal auditors. Some of them who we found do not even have the qualifications as auditors. This is the other thing. How do you put somebody who's not a qualified auditor to head the department, to be the head of internal audit? Ministry of Education and the free primary education, Madam Speaker, is one other leakage out of our system, which is unfortunate. It's a paradox that our schools are almost collapsing because of mismanagement, because of lack of resources. Yet, billions of shillings are stolen each year. Madam Speaker, we strongly recommend that a lifestyle audit be done on senior directors in the Ministry of Education who have been the conduit of stealing funds in the name of free primary education. This is evil. This is unacceptable. Madam Speaker, those fellows should be charged against those corruptions. Government asset register, Madam Speaker, presented before the committee has shown that indeed there is total failure in accounting for the assets of the national government. You ask each ministry, where is your asset register? Madam Speaker, in any organization, the asset register, in this house where we are, the seat where I am on must have a tag. The property owned by Parliament must be known. This is how the government, including vehicles and all other high valuable properties. Unfortunately, in most of the government ministries, Madam Speaker, almost all to say, none of them has satisfactorily produced a genuine asset register. This has led to the theft of land owned by government, theft of property owned by government. We have seen motor vehicle logbooks which have been stolen with the attempt to try and steal even the motor vehicles themselves. Madam Speaker, I want to say that that also is a serious issue. The Eurobond issue, I do not want to spend a lot of time in here because I really look forward as a member of that committee to see, because the Auditor General is doing a special audit on the Eurobond, but I want to tell you that, Madam Speaker, I want to say that indeed there was serious anomaly in my view with my knowledge of this area, that there was a serious anomaly in that particular area, but I will leave that for the time when we are debating the special report. Madam Speaker, pending bills, several ministries and departments in the government have pending bills almost as large as their allocation for each given year for budget. Madam Speaker, this is unacceptable. You look at even small ministries, Ministry of Sports and whatever, 634 million shillings in pending bills. That amounts to almost 60% of the annual allocation that they're given to them. When then will these ministries ever pay those bills? And Madam Speaker, I want to say that those are the issues that also requires immediate attention. Madam Speaker, the issue of IFMIS. IFMIS was designed, or we were told as taxpayers, that IFMIS is a system that was designed to remove the element of human nature in the payment process for government expenditures. Unfortunately, what we have come to know is that IFMIS has been used as a conduit to steal from the taxpayer. IFMIS is a system, and there's a special audit report which is going on, which we are waiting for now. But Madam Speaker, I want to say that this is a system that has been used to steal from the taxpayer. As I end, I want to say We need a lot of seriousness from implementing authorities. This is my parting shot as I re-emphasize that point to say that the implementing authorities on this report, the EACCs and the office of the DPP must act swiftly to take the recommendations as soon as this report is passed. And we as Kenyans want to see people prosecuted and put behind bars for misuse of public funds. I thank